Welcome to the Verify Pipeline Execution 15.3 Kickoff. My name is jheimbuck, Product Manager for the Pipeline Execution Group here at GitLab. As a reminder, this group is responsible for GitLab CI pipelines, pipeline processing, as well as the category of merge trains. I'm joined today by the Pipeline Execution Product Designer, Vitika. You will find a link to the 15.3 Kickoff page with links to these items and the Verify Stage Direction page with discussion of our future work in the comments below the video. You can always reach me at jheimbuck@gitlab.com or through comments on items with the group pipeline execution label in the GitLab project or any of the issues we're going to talk about today. So I'm already sharing my screen with our 15.3 planning issue, and we have a number of things that we want to talk about today. I'm going to start by saying during the 15.3 milestone, the themes for our group, or the theme for our group, is to make the experience of running pipelines great for open source contributors. And that being our main goal, is to support that, along with then our ongoing goal of meeting our reliability SLOs, or the SLOs for our reliability related issues. Those are always signified with a Verify P1. You can see we have a lot of those in this milestone, but we are keeping up with the issue SLO and providing a more stable, reliable, and performant platform for the users on gitlab.com. So with our first goal of providing that great experience for open source program projects and their contributors when they're running pipelines, there's a couple of issues that I wanted to dig into and talk about a little bit. The first is this one of using the reduced cost factor for public forks. This is an issue that has been moving around a little bit, milestone to milestone, but it is something that we will get unblocked and be delivering in 15.3, we believe. And that'll then use a reduced amount of CI/CD minutes when you're contributing with a public fork to one of those public projects or OSS projects. Another part of that is number 351933, setting a lower cost factor for the OSS plans. If you've read through our documentation, you know that we use cost factor to adjust. And so there's a difference between the actual runner minutes that are being consumed and how those apply to CI/CD minutes and what is applied to your account every month. We're going to be lowering the cost factor so that members of the OSS program actually have more minutes. That'll help kind of give them a little bit more of a bridge over as all of the public projects now are accumulating minutes, just as they adjust and make changes to their CI setup. And the last one here is one that we're actually going to be supporting a community contributor. But I wanted to call it out because Kev is such a great community contributor and it's such a great improvement for users. And that's 118825, providing the UI within the merge request to rebase without having to run a pipeline. So this should save significant time of not having to run the pipeline and save significant CI/CD minutes of not having to run a pipeline every time to rebase, especially if the project that you're trying to contribute to is rapidly changing. So this will be a better experience for those contributors to rapidly changing open source programs. And then the last issue that I want to call out is an experiment that the team is going to run. We're actually working on it in 15.2. You can see the milestone. It didn't get pulled into the milestone before our last kickoff, which is why I wanted to call it out today. We think we'll deliver it within 15.3. So what we're going to do is introduce a performance insight button in a modal window to the pipeline details page. And I'll click into the design real quick here. We're going to run this experiment for 2 milestones, and then we're going to turn the feature off. But we would love to hear your feedback for it and see if this is something that we should continue or if this is a feature that there's no interest in. And so within the interface itself, there will be a link into an issue where you can leave us feedback. And there's a feedback issue linked here as well within the issue. So we hope that you get a chance to experience that, use that performance insights button, look at the data that's presented there to you, and let us know what you think. Is this helpful? Is this something that you want to see us continue to pursue? Or is it something that's not very useful in its current incarnation? And with that, I'll hand it over to Vitika to discuss some of the upcoming usability improvements that the team is exploring for later this year and some research that she'll be working on.
Thank you so much, James. I have so much really high hopes from the experiment that we are running, and I'm really looking forward to the feedback that we'll receive from that. Yeah, and 15.3 is going to be research heavy for the pipeline execution UX team, which is me. And we'll be focusing on a couple of research items this milestone. And So here, the one that you're looking at, we worked on the designs for this issue in the ongoing milestone, which and what is this all about? So this particular proposal would allow users to set a limit for the usage consumption or resources in the projects they own to avoid running out of resources. So it would let you like set a limit for the CI/CD minutes by project, but currently we are only focusing on allowing this to happen from the for the user namespaces, and eventually we'll get to groups, subgroups, and all of that. But so we have like put together a design proposal. It's all set to be implemented in 15.6. But in the meanwhile, what we want to do is we want to validate some of the decisions that we have made, some of the assumptions that we had while creating these proposals. So we might be reaching out to some of you to recruit you for the research. So keep an eye out for that. And now moving on to the next one. So category direction for continuous integration scaling. Yeah, I wanted to talk about this one because we are planning on doing a category maturity scorecard research for this particular category. And we want to see if this is ready to be moved from minimal to viable. Now, what does viable stand for? So viable means that, okay, just a moment. I think I lost that somewhere. Yeah, significant use at GitLab, like within the company, and we might be recruiting like internal users only, but that really depends on what plan we come up with. And yeah, looking forward to see like how far we have come with this particular category. And lastly, there's this one issue that I would be looking at in this milestone. And this talks about that if a runner is deleted, then all the jobs that were processed by it, they no longer display which runner processed them in the sidebar, like where you get to see the details for all the runners. So it doesn't appear there. Now, there is a way to figure out that like, so what you can do is you can look at the first 8 characters of the runner registration token from the job trace to any of their existing specific or group runners. But of course, I mean, it's not even easier said. It's really difficult to do that. So we want to come up with a proposal so that users could easily identify if the job has been run by a decommissioned runner. And that is all from me. Back to you, James.
Nice. Vitika, if someone's interested in giving you some feedback or us some feedback, especially around the CI/CD quota, can they leave a comment on the issue and tag you and I? Would that be the best method?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to hear some feedback on this.
Fantastic. So yeah, get in there and leave some comments on the design. We'd love to hear from you. So we're so excited for 15.3. If any of these issues are of interest to you, feel free to tag us and on the issues that are being implemented or the issues that are being designed. Thanks so much.